Tell us about this House bill, because the possibility is very high that it will get to President Trump because the Senate already passed something similar.
That's right, Sherry. This bill is similar but not identical to the measure passed by the Senate last week, which would impose sanctions on banks that do business with Chinese officials involved in cracking down on Hong Kong. But this bill does still need to be approved by the Senate again before going to President Trump for his signature. But that is expected to happen very soon, potentially on Thursday. This move is in response to China enacting the national security law in Hong Kong, which goes beyond what many investors, democracy advocates, and even pro-Beijing politicians have expected. And it's increasing concern that it will have a chilling effect on free speech and political activity in Hong Kong. In fact, on Wednesday, police said they made their first 10 arrests under the law, including a man who was arrested for holding a Hong Kong independence flag. Now take a listen here to what Mike Pompeo had to say.
Free Hong Kong was one of the world's most stable, prosperous, and dynamic cities. Now it will be just another communist-run city where its people will be subject to the party elite's whims. It's sad.
Sanctioning banks is just part of a series of steps that the U.S. is taking to push back against China. It's halting shipments of defense products and related technologies to Hong Kong. It's restricting visas of certain former and current Chinese Communist Party officials. And it's also starting to roll back Hong Kong's preferential treatment under U.S. law. And when it comes to this sanctioning bill in particular, according to Bloomberg Intelligence, China's largest banks have some $1.1 trillion in dollar funding at stake and face potentially steep fines from this sanctions bill.
And Selina, how close is the Trump administration then to rolling out these sanctions on China over the human rights abuses in Xinjiang?
These sanctions have been long delayed, but last month Trump did sign this bill into law, which requires him to punish officials responsible for repression of Uyghurs and members of other minority groups. Sources have told us that the U.S. is now preparing to roll out those sanctions. This is after former National Security Advisor John Bolton had alleged in his book that last year Trump gave Chinese President Xi Jinping the green light on building camps in this western region. And Axios has just reported, according to an interview, that Trump said he had previously held off on imposing these sanctions against Chinese officials involved in Xinjiang mass detention camps because doing so would have interfered in his trade deal with Beijing.